State regime media known as Fox is in panic mode, and boy, are they panicking on live TV as they see Donald Trump's polling plummeting. In the Fox poll, plummeting. In Quinnipiac, plummeting. In AP, plummeting. And one of the reasons is that, you know what, Americans don't like when Donald Trump sends ICE agents to disappear human beings, masked up, sending them to concentration camps in foreign countries and putting them in detention centers. Americans don't really like that. So how is Fox addressing the fact that Donald Trump is also targeting top Democratic politicians, like the recently ICE attacked the New York City comptroller, and then the week before, a United States senator from California? You know what Fox's absurdist spin on this is? They go, this is just a new form of a disease called TDS, Trump Derangement Syndrome. You see, Fox MAGA mushbrain viewers, the Democrats want to be arrested. It's part of TDS, they say, that Democrats are intentionally getting arrested by ICE agents to get attention for themselves, to prove that they're infected by TDS. This is actually what state regime media Fox is saying. And there's an audience who must be watching this and going, oh, TDS. Here, watch this.
This feels like a whole new chapter of TDS, Trump Derangement Syndrome. When you can't afford a political ad, you get yourself arrested and create the arrest me drama that Cheryl named. And hopefully, because you hate Trump, you'll get on TV.
Yeah, I don't know. I would remind all the Democrats looking to do these stunts, Bob Menendez just started his prison sentence.
Ooh,
so you can be held accountable.
Now, they spent the entire day basically saying, all of those Democrats you're seeing getting arrested by ICE agents, being attacked and assaulted and thrown on the ground and beaten by ICE agents, United States senators, judges, New York City comptrollers, Congress members, mayors, they want it. They're asking for it. You know what it's like, according to state regime media? They're like streakers. The Democrats are like streakers who go naked on sports fields. That's what it's like. And that's why the ICE agents are going after the Democrats, because they're naked. Huh? Play the clip.
Yeah, you know, I liken this to the streakers on the field, the baseball games and the NFL games, right? Where essentially it's for the street cred of their own, like, group of friends. But at the end of the day, we watch as they get tackled. The crowd cheers the security guy, and they usually get charged with a misdemeanor. So what we're seeing here is essentially this brownie points. They're all vying for the camera attention. They're taunting. We saw that from Gavin Newsom too, right? There's no, this is no, what's the phrase? Like no equals among whatever. So it doesn't matter what rank they are in the bureaucracy. They are vying to have some street cred that they were somehow the target of President Trump. But what they're missing is the value of the American people. Whereas Governor Hochul talks about people being afraid to enter the courthouse. Well, what about the Americans that were afraid to thrive in their communities? What about those Coloradans who are afraid to live in their apartment buildings that are getting run over by Trinidad gangs and illegal immigrants? Exactly. So at the end of the day, the whole point is the priorities of the American people are reflected, and that when we see this, we say, get out of here. Because what we do know is that enforcement and the resources of ICE are being deployed correctly. That's what's important.
And they continue down this path. Kayleigh McEnany, who used to be in the first Trump regime, here she's like, your headline is Trump arresting Democrats? It should be Democrats are engaged in tomfoolery. Tomfoolery. Play this clip.
Let me read for you the New York Times headline for all of this. Images of handcuffed Democrats start to pile up in Trump's crackdown. I'd love to have a beer when I'm no longer pregnant with the headline writer and sit down and be like, really? That's your headline? Like Trump's arresting Democrats? The headline should be attention-seeking Democrats engage in stunts and tomfoolery. Brad Lander accused of assaulting a federal officer. You have that Monica McIver down in Newark, and she's facing charges now, forcibly impeding federal officers. They'll all have their days in court. But what do Brad Lander, LaMonica McIver, Roz Baraka, and Sri Thanadar, he's the guy with the floppy hair accused of animal rights activist issues who tried to impeach Trump. What do they all have in common? No one knows who they are. This is all about getting attention. This is all about stunts. They all have their TV moment. Look at them. Congrats, guys. And you got a good New York Times headline out of it. But after that beer, maybe no longer.
Well, they're very thirsty, so you'll have to share that beer.
You don't get more pathetic than what I just showed you. Oh, wait a minute, you do. Because then you've got Mark Levin, the warmonger in chief over at Fox. And Mark Levin says, if you worry about World War III, you're a Marxist. You're an Islamicist. You are a terrorist yourself. You're not MAGA. Here, play this clip of Mark Levin on Fox. Let's play it.
So where are they? They're nowhere. How about China? Nowhere. How about Russia? Nowhere. What happened to World War III? There is no World War III. They all sound like a bunch of Marxist Islamists. They don't sound like patriotic Americans. Let me be clear. This is good versus evil. You're either a patriotic American who's going to get behind the President of the United States, the Commander-in-Chief, or you're not.
Well, and then we have MAGA Mike Johnson. And MAGA Mike Johnson goes, well, I just think if you don't believe that American troops should go to war in Iran, if you don't believe in another endless war in the Middle East with American troops, I think you have the wrong side of this. I wonder what God would tell me to do. Play this clip.
Tom Massey is a Republican from Kentucky. He has joined several Democrats saying this is not our war. Even if it were, Congress must decide such matters according to our Constitution. Should we get further involved today?
Thomas Massey is on the wrong side of this, and I think that's very clear. We are in a defensive posture right now. The president is making the right decisions. Why? Because, Bill, we have to protect U.S. assets and obviously our personnel. We got 40,000 U.S. service members stationed in the region over there. That is what the president is doing. He's fully within his authority to act in that manner, and that is what the commander-in-chief is supposed to do. We have to stand by our ally Israel. They're our closest ally and friend, the only stable democracy in the region, and we have to make sure that they can do the job they need to do to protect their citizenry.
How absurd is this? Then you have MAGA Republican Congress member Roger Williams repeatedly suggesting that Democratic Senator Tim Kaine or anyone else who wants to limit Donald Trump's war powers, what did it even say limit? I don't follow the Constitution that Congress has to authorize a war. You, according to the MAGA Republicans like Roger Williams, you're a terrorist. You side with the Iran regime if you don't give Donald Trump full dictatorial power to invade Iran with American troops in a never-ending war. Play this clip.
President Trump is demanding unconditional surrender from Iran and is reportedly considering U.S. military involvement should things escalate further. And yet you've got colleagues in the House right now and in the Senate, like Tim Kaine, who are trying to limit President Trump's powers and decision-making at the time of war.
Yeah, it's unbelievable. And I would say to Senator Kaine, whose side are you on, for crying out loud? I mean, death to Israel, death to America. What more do we need to hear? And I think President Trump is right. He's got us to a point where these guys need to take a hard look at themselves and surrender. If they don't surrender, it may be that we have to end it. We've got the best friend we got in Israel. They're doing a fantastic job. They're controlling the airspace now. So we just need to see. But look, it's biblical, okay? I'm one of those. It's biblical. We support Israel. Israel is our friend. We need to be with them. And Senator Kaine, I just would want to know what side he is really on.
Mm-hmm. Hey, everybody. Ben Meiselas here from the Midas Touch Network. I wanted to let you know about my podcast partner, Michael Popak's new law firm. It's called the Popak Firm. Michael Popak's pursuing his dream of starting his own law firm, really based on the popular demand by all the Midas Mighty and legal AFers who were approaching Michael Popak with their cases and saying, can you help us? And at that time, Popak was not able to. So he went out on his own. He started the Popak Firm, where he is now handling catastrophic injury cases like car accident cases, trucking cases, malpractice cases, big negligence cases, wrongful death cases. So if you or someone you know have a case like this, the consultation with Popak's firm is free. Give him a call. See if you have a case. It's thepopakfirm.com, thepopakfirm.com, or you can call 877-POPOK-AF, P-O-P-O-K-A-F. So 1-877-POPOK-AF. Give Michael Popak a call. And I'm really proud of you, Popak. Thanks for all the hard work you're putting in. They're just doing a more extreme version even of and a quicker and a more expedited version of the WMD Iraq playbook. And again, I want to be very clear. I don't want Iran having nuclear weapons at all, period, full stop. Donald Trump's director of national intelligence said in the past 90 days that Iran is not capable of having any nuclear weapons anytime soon. And then also, I would like to think through this a little bit. Okay, so you get rid of the Ayatollah. You're calling for regime change. Who's going to be the new regime? You think the people of Iran are just going to say, hey, Benjamin Netanyahu, who do you want to lead us? Why don't we put Israeli troops with American troops on the ground? You think the Iranian people want a proxy or puppet of Benjamin Netanyahu on Israel? Or do you think that the Iranian people would more likely side with a more extreme version of the Ayatollah against a hand-picked governing body by Israel? How do you think this is actually going to play out? Or if you put the family of the Shah back into power, don't you think you're going to create a civil war in Iran? Don't you worry that that could then spread to Saudi Arabia and Qatar and the United Arab Emirates and Jordan and Lebanon and elsewhere? How about terrorist attacks in the United States that may result in? Are we thinking this through at all? Or are we just bloodthirsty are we thinking through these issues? And we have every right to talk about the implications, especially when it comes to war. Then you have another Fox propagandist here telling their audience that they think that actually California is going red. Though they think California is going to go red. Really? You think California is going to go red? How ridiculous. Play this clip.
As we've been subjected to the current governor of California's theatrics, taunting the president, daring him to arrest him, right, saying a lot of mealy-mouthed things, while failing to govern or protect his own citizens. It's a stark contrast with the former governor. I really miss Governor Schwarzenegger. As a Californian, I can say that. Will they sit down, do you think, and have a conversation?
Well, I mean, I think that I think California could go red. I really do. And I think that, I know Steve Hilton is running for governor there, but I do believe there's going to be a big sea change, not just in Los Angeles, but also in the state of California, because they've had it. Their state has been overrun, as you know, as many states in this country have been, to your point about Georgia, here in New York.
So this was an utter fail by Fox. They think that they're going to bring James Carville on to trash Democrats on Fox. I think that's what their move was. Watch what happens when Will Cain asks James Carville a question. Play this clip.
James, you've done a great job in calling out your party, calling out the left on honestly how it's kind of become a weenie when it comes to men, condescending and talking down and ostracizing men. I've heard you say that. But I think you got a deeper problem in the way that the left is talking about America.
Well, if I took everything that they all said, it wouldn't amount to what Mike Lee said. Who's actually a United States Senator? Who actually said something very harmful and very hurtful and has not apologized for it? So, I mean, we can go on. I'm not here to defend Whoopi Goldberg. She makes enough money. She has a big enough forum to do that. That's not any kind of a problem. Bobby Kennedy is going to kill more people than any cabinet secretary, maybe in history, with his idiotic vaccine policy, which is the greatest public health intervention in the history of the world of vaccines.
Here, James Carville shoves it back in Will Cain's face again. Here, let's play this clip.
I'll defend the Democratic Party. Democratic Party has been the most effective political party in the history of the world. It started Social Security. It brought civil rights. It brought women's rights. It brought gay rights. It brought the last party to bring a balanced budget to the United States of America. Okay, it shepherded the United States through the greatest age of prosperity it ever had, the 90s. The Democratic Party really does not need me to defend it. It has a record.
It does.
Kayleigh McEnany here almost has. You're so close, Kayleigh McEnany, to getting it. Let's play this clip.
You combine fanaticism, no care for self-preservation, and radical religious belief with nuclear weapons, that is a danger.
And then Sean Hannity, literally, you could go back and watch Hannity during WMD Iraq days, and it's literal. I think he's actually reading the exact same script. Here, play it.
Donald Trump knows where you are at this moment. You have been warned. At best, your economy, that will be destroyed. Your refineries, they will be up in smoke. Your infrastructure will be in tatters. You won't have lights to turn on in Iran if you keep going the way you're going. Your military will be shredded. Your weapons and ammunition will be gone. Your nuclear program that you have put so much time, effort, money, energy into, it's utterly destroyed now. It will be further destroyed and capable of rebuilding.
I think it's important to note that 2 American soldiers died in the Middle East In the past 48 hours, our Department of Defense, which basically lies about everything, they're claiming that it was non-military reasons why these 2 soldiers died. We don't know the real reason. But also 4 soldiers died in Lithuania in the past 2 months. Remember that. 2 soldiers died in New Mexico when they were sent to the southern border. A lady died as a result of being run over by an Abrams tank in Washington, D.C., following the military parade. Dozens of Americans have died recently due to disastrous storms. Has Donald Trump addressed any of that? No. He built 2 gigantic flagpoles in front of the White House yesterday. That's what he's focused on, not addressing the death of American soldiers. No, why would he address that? Anyway, tell me what you think. Hit subscribe. Let's get to 5 million subscribers.
The truth is more important than ever. Check out our new Truth Over Lies collection at store.MeidasTouch.com. All 100% USA union made.